Faryazmi University, Bachelor of Science in English Literature and Linguistics. So Siddiq is my fellow. So we are conducting a interview-based conversation on the topic of word Englishes because we are taking a course of word Englishes. So we just need to get an exposure of the outside. So that's why we are here. I hope you are well. So let's start it.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Yes. So first of all, my question is that which is your native language, like your mother tongue?
So in my opinion, so the English language, just like I used to say to my students and everything, because I teach English almost 10 years in my life. I'm used to saying that English is the worldwide language because, we are from different countries, I should say, and we speak English, right?
Yeah.
So we can communicate with ourselves in English. So that's awesome. So I try to show that to my students because maybe they when we say that English is it's a worldwide language, they don't believe in us, they say, you are talking I don't know if it's true, but we can prove here that it's true, so for me the English language is the worldwide language, because you can go any place, anywhere, anytime if you speak English. I'm in Brazil and you are in your country, so we can speak English, right?
Yes, that is a way of communication. In Pakistan, people are from different ethnicity, different cultures. Like in our class, if we take the example, everyone have their own accent, different varieties, but they speak the same language with different accents. So how would we how would we understand that? Is it okay to be different, or should we follow the same pattern like British and American accent?
No, actually, in my opinion, just like I said, English is worldwide, so it doesn't matter if we have an accent. For example, there's like Mir told me yesterday. He said you have a Portuguese English, and we have the Pakistan English. So for me, it's not a big issue because we are communicating with ourselves. We totally understand that we have our accents. For me, it's not a problem because English is worldwide. So if you speak English, it's okay. I don't think that it's a problem.
Okay, that's great. You want to ask something?
So Alexander, as I have already told you that you have your mother tongue is Brazilian. Like, how your L1, like your language one, has effect on the language 2, your L2. What is your L2 language? Is it English or some other? Your second language. What is your second language?
My second language it's English. It's English. My second language is English. I speak Portuguese, Brazilian, and then English, right? I'm wearing my uniform today,
So you have Portuguese. Portuguese is the national language of your Brazil.
Yeah, it's the mother language. Yeah, exactly.
It's the mother language. So my question here is how effective, how much effect of your L1, your language one, your mother tongue or the native language have on the second language, I guess on the English.
That's great. That's great. You know that sometimes because our mother language, we have some, how can I say, some syllables that we pronounce in a way. For example, like we say ha, and in English we say ra. So it affects totally because so that's why I try to say to my students that sometimes it's okay if you speak with some accents, but we need to speak with a little more accuracy, because sometimes we have some syllables on some pronunciation that we have in our mother language that we cannot say in English because that can affect our pronunciation. Just like I said, ha in Portuguese and ra in English. So we need to be careful on that,
That's great, Alexander. I would share my experience. Like once in 2016 or 15, we were on just WhatsApp and we had a call. And at that time we were discussing about, I was telling you about that we don't have a light. So you got lost. You got lost that what that light mean. So I was just figuring out where the hell did I, made a mistake. But then I realized that it means that electricity in our Pakistan, when the light goes, we usually say, when electricity goes, we usually says that the light chali gayi. Like in our language, light, there is no light. So you didn't get it. So that is how I see that how English is facilitating or hindering the communication between the other speakers, like all around the world. What is your views? It hinders the varieties of English, hinders, or it facilitate the gap?
Absolutely facilitate, because you can speak just like we're doing here. I'm from Brazil and you are from Pakistan, so we can speak with any person that speak, of course, that knows English. I'm gonna say, I said before, and I'm gonna say again, English is worldwide. You can speak with any person in the world. It could be in Japan or Greek or Denmark, anyway, anywhere.
So how many different backgrounds, people from the different ethnicity are living at Brazil, and like all are the Portuguese or from some other nationalities you are teaching?
That's great. Something that happens in Brazil is that unfortunately only 5% of Brazil speaks another language, and only 1% is fluent. So when the foreigners, they come here, they need to learn Portuguese, because most of the people here in Brazil, unfortunately, they don't speak English. So it's a big deal, it's a problem, because just like I said, English is worldwide, but here in Brazil they think kind of differently, because they don't speak English. Only 1% is fluent, so it's bad, right?
Okay, that's great. I would like to ask some other thing from you. Like as the question goes, I would say that you are teaching the students of the English.
Yeah.
Like from which grade you are teaching? Like are they basic? Are you teaching in advanced level, or are you teaching at the university or school level?
Any level, but at university I can't teach yet, because we need to have the college and everything. But I don't teach kids, only my daughter. Only my daughter. But I don't teach kids because I don't have I don't know how can I put that, but I think it is the experience. I prefer teenagers above, like teenagers and adults and so on. Even I have a student that he is 72 years old. Can you believe that? So it's amazing. But I teach any level, basic, intermediate, advanced, doesn't matter.
I have a question.
So what are the hurdles or difficulties you face while teaching English to the different backgrounds?
The difficulties to teach English. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I used to be like that. Is to understand that English, you need to have in mind that English has some things that we need to my God, I forgot the word, that we need to keep in our minds. Let's put it that way. In the way, it's like we don't have a medicine that you take. I take a medicine and I'm speaking English now. No, it's not that. We need to practice every day, study every day. You need to be always in touch with English. It's not magic, You need to pay the price to learn English, And most people, they don't want to pay the price. They think that just come to the class, like 1 hour class or 1 hour and a half, doesn't matter. They think that they will learn English only with that. Maybe they can, but it's not enough. So they need to pay the price. So most people don't want to pay the price.
So Alexander, one more thing to add, that you teach students at what method? What is the method you are using while teaching English? It is direct method, like you talk with them in English, or just you go with the grammar translation method, you translate your language in your language, or using daily language sentences, or you teach them direct grammar like tenses and then ask them to make the sentences in English. Is it the method?
Great. So my friend, my methodology, I try to use my mother tongue, my mother language, to teach them, because I can explain the grammar, the rules, and everything, and they can understand. Because I used to work in a place that it was fully in English. It doesn't matter your level, if you are basic or if you are intermediate or if you are advanced. So for me, it was a big issue, because if I put
the voice.
Hello, can you hear me?
Your voice is distorting. Yes, could you repeat it?
Of course. So I used to work in a place that the class, it was fully in English. It doesn't matter your level, if you were basic, intermediate, or advanced. For me, it was a big issue, because if you are a person that you don't know anything in English, and suddenly you get into the class and the teacher is speaking totally in English, I would freak out. I would leave. I would run away, you know. That it was so when I created my company, my school, I needed to analyze that we need to go by steps. You know, we can't go like totally in English in the first class, because each person has its own level. So I used to teach in the mother tongue, like speaking in Portuguese, and in English, like it's very divided. And then after 6 months, 5-6 months, I start to speak more in English, because it's natural. The more you advance, the less the Portuguese will be used in the class. So that's what I do, you know, because I think that we with this, if you teach English using the mother tongue of the person, it's a little bit easier. I'm not saying that it's very easy, but it's a little bit easier, you know, because you can explain the rules and everything in the mother tongue. The person will understand a little bit better, you know.
Okay, I ask a pardon. That's great. May I go with more questions if you have a time? So
let's go. I'm on it.
Okay, thank you so much. How has the spread of English as a global language impacted the development of English in Brazil?
I said before that only 5% here in Brazil speak English, but now I can analyze that the people are understanding that English is very, very important. And the one thing that we were talking before recording is that about the situation that is happening in Brazil. And yesterday I saw a video, a guy that he used to, he's Brazilian, he's very famous, you know, he's an actor, but in the USA, he works there to give the green cards to Brazilians, not to live there, to work and whatever. And he said that because of the political situation in Brazil, the Brazilians they wanna leave, they wanna go here, right? Because of the situation, the police situation, the taxes and everything, you know. I really would love to live here either, but so that's why I think that English is affecting Brazil nowadays. The people are beginning to understand that English is important. So if you go to USA without speaking in English, you have a big trouble in there, you know. So that's why I said that to my students every day, you know, because English you could go anywhere, speak English, right? If you don't speak English, you go to United States, my God, you're gonna be lost, right? I believe, Mir, that with that, the Brazilian people will understand. They will see. I think that a little bit late, but they will see that English is very important. If you want to leave the country, whatever you want to go, if you want to go to Canada, Pakistan, India, whatever, you need to speak English, right? Because, you know.
Oh, great. So one more question: that how does the variety of English in the Brazil like differ from the standard British or the American English? Like, and in what ways has it been influenced by the Portuguese and other languages spoken in Brazil?
That's great. That's nice. Here where I live in the countryside, for us is a little bit better to speak the American English, because here where I live, the region that I live, we say like, the R is very strong here, in our accent.
There's a rhetoric in our, yes, I got it.
Yeah. So here, I was taught the American English. So that's why I speak the American English. The British, for me, it's kind of, how can I say that? Many words in British English, it's different from the American English. And I was taught the American English. So some words in British I need to see on the dictionary and everything. So, but here in Brazil, it's stronger the American English. But you can find, depending on the teacher, because some teachers lived in the UK, so they speak the British English. But yes, the American English is stronger here in Brazil. So it's the American English is you can see more here in Brazil,
That's
great. Hello.
Can you just hello? Are you audible to me?
Yes, you are audible. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Abdurrahman, that is the same question to you as well as to Alexander. That can you discuss any notable features of Brazilian English, like pronunciation, vocabulary, or grammar? You have a different feature. Like I would like to mention some of the words that you have been using from your Portuguese language in English, and same way to the Abdurrahman. Like how influence of your language is of Urdu on the English. First, I would ask Alexander. You should go first.
Sorry, what's the question?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Hello, I guess it just hello. Yes.
Can you
hello?
Can you repeat, please, the question?
Yes, I can. Like, can you discuss any notable features of Brazilian English pronunciation, vocabulary, or any grammar feature that is different? I guess you would have some things. And same way to Abdurrahman, how Urdu, how his language is, has a feature of English. So first, Alexander.
That's great. That's great. So just like I said, for example, I used to say, show a video to my students. I think do you know Ayrton Senna? Do you know him? The driver? Ayrton Senna is the driver. But anyway, so he's very, 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 very famous in Brazil. He died many, many years ago with an accident, Ayrton Senna. So his English is very, 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 very Portuguese. I used to say it's very Portuguese in English. He speaks with many, many accents. So I believe that the English affects the Portuguese affects our Brazilian English. Just like what I mentioned before, like instead of say tu, we say tu. Instead of say want, say wanti. So it's very, very, very Brazilian, these accents,
Okay, that's something. And what about you, Abdurrahman, and how the Urdu is affecting the way we are speaking English here in Pakistan?
Yes, there are many words we use in Urdu in our daily use language of English. Like as you told the example of, we can see that the light, we use the light. Okay, and light. also the tire. Okay. Tire, the word tire. The tire is a word of English, as well as we use a car instead of gadi. The gadi is a word of Urdu, so we use car. Car aa rahi hai, car ja rahi hai, and the same way goes with the bus. So these are the most.
No, you got me wrong. You got me wrong, Abdurrahman. You got me wrong. I'm asking how Urdu is being used in your language. How while I'm using English language, and what are the words I'm using in my language from my language L1, from my Urdu language, my national language. Like he told, I want you to just quote some example you have been using in English from your language,
okay,
from your native language.
Your native language, like you ask that what are the words that are used in English of Urdu? Okay, am I right? Okay. Okay. We use many words like we can say that. Let me think.
It's pronunciation. We have, I guess, we have a different pronunciation. It is very difficult to understand Pakistani English.
Yes, it is really difficult. We use which instead of which mostly, because that accent change there.
I remember, for example, like how do you pronounce per? Like Alexander, how do you pronounce per?
Per? What is that?
How you say Pakistan? Please pronounce Pakistan.
In Portuguese?
No, in English. In English.
Pakistan.
Pakistan. So that is the difference. We don't say per, we say per. We do not aspirate. We have aspiration. We don't have aspiration on that
Pakistan.
sound. Like Pakistan.
That's amazing.
Pakistan. So that is a great. So we don't have aspiration in our sound. Same for king. You say king. We say king. We don't have aspiration. Same for T. Like you said thing. We say yes. We don't have aspiration in our sound. So that would be the one example, I guess, in our language.
Yeah, exactly. And just like you mentioned, I can notice that here we say example, and there in your country you say exemplar, right?
Yes.
It's very funny. It's amazing. Yeah.
I have one more question. That would be, very hard to me. That is very close to my heart. That how have the media and the pop culture in Brazil, such as music, film, and television, influenced the way English is spoken and used in the country?
Just like I'm saying, just like I said before, Mir, is like, can I call you Mir? Can I call you Mir? Can I?
Yeah, call me Mir, yaar. That's the nickname. You are allowed to call me. You are the one who has.
Because you told me some years ago, so the people used to call me Mir, so I never forget that.
If I speak my full name, you would just get lost. Like I say Mir Musaddiq Ali Chalgiri Baloch. It doesn't end. My name is like a sentence. So
Mir Musaddiq Ali, no problem. So Mir, I call him Mir because it's easier for me. Right? So just like you're saying, Mir, like now the people, they are beginning to understand that English is becoming even more important. Like I saw last year a news saying that in 2025 or something like that, English will be something necessary on your resume here in Brazil. It doesn't matter the work that you have, so you need to have English, right? So the media and the singers and everything, they are trying to show that for us. But once again, it's like the people want to see what they want to see. So maybe they try to ignore that. But just like I said, in a few years, they will see that English will be even more important than it is nowadays, So the media are trying to show that for us, but most people are trying to ignore that,
Okay, and that's a great, Alexander. I have learned a lot from you. So I guess that the formal interview is done. So you may ask us anything about. So we are done, I guess. Like we can.
I have a question. I'm curious about it. So I like to ask Rima, my friend. What do you know about Brazil? What do you know about Brazil in your country? I speak with Mir sometimes, but what about you? What do you know about Brazil? The first thing that comes to your mind when we say Brazil for you.
Okay, Abdurrahman.
So it's a very difficult question. I have no idea how to.
Gotcha.
Yes, I have a less knowledge about Brazil, honestly.
It's football.
Yes.
I do that. I do it.
It's because of football.
Yeah, only football. Carnival, no. I knew it. So my friends, I like to say that it was a pleasure to be here. We need to do more of that because I really enjoyed, and it was a pleasure. It was a big pleasure, and I'm here to see you live, my friend. Because we only talk through message, and Rima, we can be friends here.
Very much alive. He eats everywhere.
Alexander, what happens in our language when somebody is close to our heart and somebody is more than a friend, we call him yar. So you are our yar. You are my yar. So I would.
He was repeating that word again. Yar. Yes.
Yar. So you are my yar either.
Oh, so much. That's the kind of I'm honored and I'm obliged. Well, I have no words to express my gratitude to you, man. And you are just amazing.
No, the pleasure is all mine, my friend. So it was, just like we were talking before recording, it is like almost, it is like 11 years of friendship, 11,
Oh,
10 years of friendship. So it's a while. It's been a while. It's a big journey. And
thank
since we know each other, we never stop talking. So the
you.
pleasure of mine. When you send me the message, giving me this invitation, I didn't think twice. I decided without even taking a breath. Say no, I will be there, and doesn't matter.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alexander. It is just, I'm just done. I have no words to express my gratitude. You are just amazing. I want to add something as well as, how do you find opportunities of teaching English? Like how much about earning? How do you feel that language can makes us earn over the overseas, being overseas? We want to leave this country. Like me and Abdul Rahman, we all are destined to be somewhere in Europe and somewhere